All right, so none of this shit was in the manuals. On today's episode of the Five Squad podcast, we are talking about all of the things that we weren't told when we decided to become parents. Hope you enjoy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Five Squad podcast. For those out there who do not know who I am, my name is Evan Andrews.
I'm Haley Andrews.
And this is my beautiful, amazing, lovely, all-encompassing wife who is a mother to our beautiful children, and she is just a freaking rock star. So, everybody, this is her.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
I sounded like you.
So this episode, I know you were looking forward to when we were doing our planning for this one, and honestly, I think you're gonna carry this one more for us today.
Carry the team?
Just because you have more experience in this area of being a parent.
Yeah, I think also the reason I was so excited about this one when we were planning this, the two times we were planning it, is just because I've been in this wave of the unwritten things about parenting. And I think I really needed to hear what we're going to talk about, you know? And I think that's one of the main reasons I love this podcast is because we talk about things that are just what I need to hear as a parent or as an entrepreneur or whatever. And this is a really good one for me.
Yeah. Well, our first topic of discussion in this episode, wow. The emotional roller coaster. So you tell me, before you had Logan.
Oh gosh, that was a long.
That was a long time ago, and you were young.
Me.
You were. Yes, that's very true. But what were some of the things that people were like? Because I feel like you told me when maybe it was when we were planning this, or maybe you just told me this in passing. But the women in your life will tell you, "Oh, it's so great to be a mom, and it's so this and it's so that and whatever." Like, but our first topic of discussion is the emotional roller coaster. What were they telling you, and what do you wish they would have told you?
As just females becoming a mom, like the societal, I don't know, perception is like it's such an amazing journey to be a mom. It's so great, which it is great. Don't get me wrong. It's the best thing that I ever have done as my life goal, right? But I don't think I would describe it as great all the time. I think there are really great moments, and those are very few. You have to work really, really hard to get to the greatness, right? Like you don't just wake up one day and you're like, wow, motherhood's great. I think motherhood is, I'm just going to speak on motherhood because obviously I'm not a dad. But I think it is so full of those sad moments that you just feel exhausted in your mind. And I think it's such a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like it's not even like one day I feel this way and one day I feel this way. It's literally like throughout the day and there's so many moments of ups and downs, right? Such good things are happening, but such negative things happen too. And I just don't think I was prepared for that. I think that's something that's really hard for me is I was told for so long, like, it's going to be so great, but it's not great all the time. Like I said, I mean, it takes a lot to get to the great moments. Yeah. And some of those down moments are so hard, and so lonely and so empty at times. But it's like those downwards that send you right up, like something amazing happens with them. And then you're like, oh, I can get through another moment,
Did you ever experience what? So this would be either with like pre-Logan or like right before the twins were born, but like what made you feel like anxious or like what got you worried about, that parenting?
What didn't get me worried, I think is a better question. I think that's another thing about parenting is there's so many things. It's so full of anxious moments, I mean, are you doing the right things? Are they okay? Are they going to be okay when they go to school, daycare? Are you going to make it through financially? I think there's so many things that are pre them, during them, all of the things are just, I think the most anxious I feel is, am I doing it right?
So your self-doubt was high. Like, did you
Yeah.
doubt yourself? Like, could you do it, or like?
I can do anything I put my mind to.
Okay.
It's not that I'm necessarily doubting myself. It's that am I doing something that they're going to have to heal from later, right? Like, am I doing the right things for them to raise them in a positive way? That's kind of something I struggle with as far as anxiousness, just because of my own childhood, you know?
Yeah. And being a parent, obviously there's, like, if I could label it, I would probably put exhaustion.
Caution.
Caution?
Caution.
For me, it's
Yes, exhaustion, but I'm just saying, like caution, you're going to be tired.
There you go. But both physically and mentally, right?
Yes.
Like, but for you, like for me, I think me, it's like physically exhausted more. I would probably
like you're doing a lot of things and you're tired.
Yeah.
For you.
I've like you are more on the mental, like you're exhausted more mentally.
Yeah.
Would I be right in
I
saying
think, yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, obviously physically and mentally. You're physically tired because you're going here. You're waking up and you're getting them dressed. Then you're making them breakfast. Then you're taking them here. You're taking them there. You got to get them here, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So that part is like the physical side. But I think the mental exhaustion is harder because you're just always thinking, right? Like you're always like.
It doesn't shut off.
Yeah, it doesn't shut off. Like, did I pack them lunch? Did they remember their homework? Did I do their homework? Did I do it right? Then I'm thinking about the mental calendar that's going on. Like, it's so exhausting. Like, it's so much exhaustion.
Well, I have a statistic here.
Oh gosh.
This is from a 2019 study done by the British Medical Journal. So
Okay.
I don't know if this is
True
It
here.
might just be Britain, but I don't know. But it might, go to the rest of the world.
Give it to us.
It says that new parents lose an average of 44 days of sleep in their first year of being parents.
I probably lost more than that.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, they took turns.
Well, I remember the twins. Like, I remember how...
I think they were 5 years old before they actually really slept through the night. Like, for real.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that sounds probably about right.
You know? I mean, somebody was waking somebody up on a regular basis.
Some, like, Callie coming in our room.
Yeah.
Like, tapping you on the
So
shoulder.
what did that say?
It said
44 days of sleep.
44 days of sleep is an average that new parents tend to lose. Just from being up all the time. And that's crazy. That's a long time.
It is a long time, but I think also, like, I was talking to a coworker, it doesn't stop. Like, the losing sleep doesn't ever stop, because think about it. When they're old enough to drive, you worry about, like, are they going to get in a wreck? Are they going to get home on time? Like, that is another added mental exhaustion, that worry, you know?
Yeah. So a huge part of overcoming some of that exhaustion, being a new parent or being a parent in general, no matter how long you've been a parent.
Yeah, that's true.
Is the act of self-care. But how do you balance self-care when you feel so burned out from being a parent?
It is the hardest thing. I think for me specifically, like, it was like a really big hurdle. Like, it took... I think I was talking to a friend recently about, like, it really took until they were, like I said, so they started sleeping through the night for me to really realize I needed to balance self-care. Like, I mattered as a person, as a woman.
I honestly will go out on a limb and say, like, that
just started.
Yeah, that's like 6 months maybe. Where you've really tried to kind of do that for yourself. I mean, what I think what you try to do sometimes that is not always
the best.
It's not literally physically possible. It's like, you like to do things with me and or all of us together.
Yes.
And it's like, you just can't.
I can't. You're right.
And
can't do
I
it
think
all.
the more that you try and do that for yourself, because that's what you feel like you want, like, you like to be with us, you like to do things together, but you just don't realize, like, what you actually need
is me time.
Is you time. Which is why, like, I like to go to basketball on Saturdays, even though, like...
But that's what led me to, I feel like God really put me in the place with my women's group, and that's my me time. I mean, I'm not obviously by myself, but it took forever for me to realize that I am more than just a mom.
So she's really good at these segues, and I think they're very unintentional.
They're really not. I'm not even looking at the notes. This is just in my lap for fun.
She's really good at this,
All
you
unit
guys.
turns off.
But our kind of final discussion point of this episode is
I really can't get the iPad to turn back on.
You can't? Did it die? Oh man.
No, it just doesn't want to.
Well, okay, so I'll carry us through this
Thank
last
you.
point. But redefining like your sense of self, right, and how important that is to really be the best parent that you can be. Like, what do you think about that statement?
This is like my main focus right now. I think I didn't really feel like I was gonna get emotional talking about it. I think really within this last like week or two, I've really realized how important me becoming the best me is to my children. I've seen, oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I've seen aspects of them really shift and change lately that I didn't really realize came from me working on myself. I mean, just recently you had said something about, something about Callie and Christian and things in them that came from me. And then our son just recently has been going through like a whole medical thing, and he's been so positive and so optimistic and so confident. And, I think he gets that from me, and it didn't come from me like spewing all of this onto them, right? It came from me realizing that I am important. Like the identity in me figuring out who I am as a mom is like extremely important. I didn't realize how important it was until I saw how much it mattered in them. And I don't think you realize how much you are really like strong in your identity, because it's because of how strong you know yourself that I realized how much I wanted to know me, because I see how much the kids look up to you. And I think it's because you know who you are and you know what you want. I know you don't think you do, but you do. And I don't know, I think that's all really new for me, but it's so empowering and so uplifting to see. But it took me seeing it in them. You know what I mean?
I don't think you could have put that any better than the way that you just did.
Word.
So, word to your mother, right? So this is something that I don't know that might be applicable all the way to us because of how our family came to be.
Right.
But what do you think, maybe looking at somebody else's relationship from somebody giving you, like dumping like their stuff onto you, right? Like, how do you think kids change aspects of like the romantic relationships?
Kids change everything.
I mean,
think about it. We can't just like pick up and go do something, right? It changes everything. Just the dynamic of having other people around. I mean, it changes what we watch. It changes how we talk. It changes what we eat. I mean, it changes.
You change what we eat.
Okay, but I'm just saying y'all all are picky, okay? I'm not. I'm just allergic to everything. But I'm just saying it changes everything. But it can change. Obviously, it changes everything, but the way you look at it, your outlook on all of it can change too. Mm-hmm. I think I struggled with that at least for a while.
Yeah.
Looking at it like they changed in a negative way, but mindset matters, right? Like they've changed it in a positive way too.
I can't really give a perception to that because like I chose the situation. Like, so it's not like.
But you don't think they change our, dynamic, our relationship, our life?
Well, no, I just mean from like the.
You mean from your identity?
Yeah, like I mean, I agree with what you say. I'm just saying like I didn't go into this and be like, oh, well, this just like now me and her can't do anything. Like I knew that was gonna
myself.
No, I'm just saying like.
Because let me tell you, they changed everything for me.
Right. Well, like I think
I was before them isn't.
I think like the Hollywood, perception of this is like, happy couple gets married, then they have a kid, and then it kind of like changes how they interact with each other. Okay, right. Like so I chose the situation, so it's like I went into it.
Yes,
with a different mind.
I think for us, they make us a better us. I think.
Yeah.
And because I love to see you with them. I mean, I think this could go for anybody, even the people that go into it having children together. If you can see the positives in your partner, it changes they change everything, but you can make that change too, you know?
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you so much. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode already. How do you feel about that one?
I feel not tired.
And before we started doing this, she was like, some of these episodes might only be like 10 minutes long. You said that.
Not this one.
I know.
I knew this one would be long. Hello, this is my favorite topic.
Well, anybody that has made it this far, we greatly appreciate,
And if you're a parent out there, you're going to be tired and you're going to be exhausted, but you're doing it right. Keep going.
Listen to her because she actually knows more about all of this stuff than I do.
I disagree. You know just as much as I do because we've been doing this together this whole time.
Yeah, she's got like 10 more years on this than I do, but whatever. I pick it up.
I was just living through life then. I was just surviving.
But anybody that has got this far, again, we greatly appreciate it. If you could interact with this piece of content in any way, shape, or form, subscribe to our channel if you already haven't. If you're just finding us right now, go back and watch some of our past stuff where we kind of started our journey about 8 or 9 months ago in doing all of this. But we greatly appreciate anybody that has kept up with us and does like what we do here. We've been contemplating talking about setting up kind of like a donation portal.
Oh yeah.
For people to. We haven't launched anything yet. We're not really trying. We're not trying to monetize this thing honestly right now, but we do want to give back to the communities that we are in, like our church and the different groups that our church may work with or our small groups might work with.
I totally forgot about that.
But we do want to set up some sort of donation portal where you guys can, donate to the causes that we want to donate to as well. And we'll talk about more about how that'll work as soon as we get going there. Yeah, but sorry.
You pulled a Haley.
Yeah, I just totally just absent seizure out of my brain.
Let's go.
There we go. But we're gonna leave you how we leave you every single episode, and we just want you to remember that every day is a new day and a new chance to get it right.
Keep pushing forward and stay inspired.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week.